go ahead and read and copy this down. Pause the video and do that, and then unpause when you're ready. Okay, I'm hoping when you read through that, you picked up on a subtle difference. It sounded very much like the last two problems that you've seen. The only difference is it says find the 90% confidence interval for the population proportion. And so, well, you might have noticed another thing. Notice that there is no mention of sample mean, and there is no sample standard deviation. That's because we're not interested in the population mean. We're interested in something called the population proportion. So that example I gave you in the intro video for Chapter 6, I gave you an example of 12, I think it was this, 12 to 14%, I might have been 14 to 16% of all Americans are left-handed. Anytime you're dealing with percentages or proportions, you're going to do the confidence interval for the population proportion. So let's go ahead and look at what that looks like on your calculator. All right, hopefully I don't make you seasick again. Okay, we know how to find our interval functions. We hit stat. Oops, I got to turn it on. I'm hitting her details. I had stuff on the screen and I hit clear to get rid of it. I hit stat. I go over to tests. Now the ones we used in the previous video were Z interval and T interval. I can't use those because those are only things you use when you're looking for the population mean. Confidence interval of the population mean. I'm looking for the confidence interval for the population proportion. And so right here in the TI-83 Plus, in mine it's actually choice A, it says 1 prop Z int. Notice underneath it is a 2 prop Z int. We don't want that. We want 1 prop Z int. That gives us a proportion interval. So there's a lot less choices here to choose from. First of all, X. It's not X bar because we don't have a sample mean. X wants to know how many people indicated whatever it is you're studying. In our case, 201 people indicated they had confidence. Now the word confidence in this word problem has nothing to do with confidence interval. It had to do with their opinions about Congress. But 201 of them said that they had confidence in Congress. So X is 201. N is the total people in your survey. In this video, it was 1405. Not video, in this word problem. It was 1405, right? It's right. There it is right there. So that's our total N, and then here's the 201. That's our X value. All right, so I've got to put in 1405. Notice again it wants C level, the confidence level. So our problem, I think this one, I said I wanted a 90% confidence level, so I put in 0.90. Scroll down, highlight, calculate, and hit enter. And it gives me, it will always give it to you in decimals because this is a proportion. And then it gives you this funny thing here. It's called P hat. It's a P with a little, like an arrow on top of it. That's the proportion of your sample. And it says 0.143. If I move that 0.143, I'll tell you what, let me scoot some things here. And I'm going to write on down here. So P hat is what it's called, is 0.143. If I convert that to a decimal, that's 14.3. What that means is my 201 people out of 1405 represented about 14% of that survey said they had confidence. So up in parentheses, my confidence level says 0.1277 and 0.15843. If I was writing a research paper or a public opinion paper for a political science class, I would convert those to percentages, and I would say about 12.7 or 12.8% to 15.8%. But for us, when you're writing confidence intervals, you can just leave them in decimal form. But it basically tells you the whole population falls between these two percentages.